Hello friends! In my last video, we talked about the basics of interior styling, but I realized that these can still feel like kind of vague concepts. To really understand these ideas, it can be super helpful to have specific examples. So that is what's happening today. I have pulled a bunch of images of styled spaces and we are going to talk about them. What they've gotten right in the styling or what they've gotten wrong, what is working in these spaces and what could maybe be improved upon. Because when it comes to understanding interior design concepts, I think it makes a lot of sense that visuals can be really helpful. We're also going to look at what kind of decorative pieces, what sort of objects you might want to be using in your interior styling. So I have yet again turned to my trusty Facebook Marketplace and found a bunch of decorative items that I think would make very cool additions to someone's home. I'm going to share them with you, and I'm also going to suggest some ideas for how I think these pieces could be incorporated into an interior. All right, are we ready? Here we go. In the last video, we did talk about styling with plants, and I like what they have done with this plant. I think the plant itself is quite nice, and I also really like the planter that they've used. I like the style, I like the color. And overall, I just think that the styling of this whole vignette has been really well done. If you have a console table or a sideboard or a dresser and you're not really sure how to go about styling it, use this formula. Piece of art above, one tall lamp, one medium height plant, one short stack of books with something decorative sitting on top, and bonus points for an interesting little stool casually placed off to one side. A configuration like this fills the space without feeling cluttered. It's balanced and it's stylish. Okay, let's talk about coffee tables now. So I got a comment on the last video saying that with so many of these styled coffee tables lately, it just seems like they're so full of stuff that there isn't even a spot to set down your drink. And it's a fair criticism. You know, if you look at a table like this one solely from the perspective of composition, I like it. The use of color, the variety of objects, there's something interesting going on here. It feels personal. But from a functional perspective, it is cluttered. Where would you set your glass? How would you put your feet up? So while I definitely think you can look to images like this for ideas or inspiration, I do also agree that there is something that needs to be better considered here in terms of function. Maybe it is just a matter of scaling back on the number of piles and objects just a little bit. Here we have another coffee table with a lot going on, but it's a little more condensed. So if you like the idea of a well-styled coffee table, but you want to take a little more of a practical approach, I think this works really well. And this would, I think, be relatively easy to execute. Place a vase with a bit of height in the middle, then surround it with various stacks of books. Add a few candles and some other decorative objects on top, maybe a small tray. I also like that they've included a nice box of matches so that you can light those candles. Now, I would probably add a little more color in my styling, but that's really just personal preference. In the last video, I did mention that when you are styling your coffee table, you might find it useful to imagine the top of your table divided into sections, and this is a great example of that. Again, this seems pretty straightforward. You've got something short, something tall, a couple of stacks of books, and some layered objects to vary the height. And I'm pretty sure I see a matchbook or two inside that dish, and that is a styling trick I see done quite often, and I think it's great. I love a decorative little dish or bowl with some interesting matchbooks in it. So here we have a very nicely styled nightstand, but this could absolutely work for an end table as well. We often place picture frames right on the tabletop, but I think this is a great example of how you can wall mount the frame instead to free up more space while still having that added interest and impact. I also think the placement of that lamp makes a lot of sense because that picture adds a fair amount of height, so you need something else fairly tall that's gonna balance it. And the vase of flowers. It adds a great little pop of color, it helps to fill a space that I think otherwise would have felt a bit empty, and it helps to bridge the gap between the taller and shorter items. This is another really nicely styled nightstand. Now, having the wall sconce above eliminates the need for a table lamp, so it frees up the entire surface for other decorative objects. Unlike the last image where the art was on the wall, here we have it leaning on the top of the nightstand. And I like the way the pieces of art are layered flat against the wall rather than being propped up with tabletop frames. Layered leaning art like this is a great styling trick. It works on tables, bookcases, on mantles, and it just has a nice sort of casual laid back feel to it. So here we have an example of a nightstand that I actually think has not been styled very well. The table lamp just feels too tall and skinny, and the other two objects are not substantial enough to compensate for that. There's too much negative space, it doesn't feel balanced, it just seems like three kind of random objects that have been placed there without any thought. If we want to keep the existing items, here's a really simple way of addressing this. Just by shifting things around a little bit and adding that additional piece of art, it's now feeling much more considered and balanced. The styling in this space I just think is so well done. You already have this really nice gallery wall, which is so impactful, and then they have done just the right amount of styling on the cabinet to balance it. That is a great lamp. The color pops so nicely against the blue of the art, and the vase beside helps to fill what would have otherwise been too much empty space between the cabinet and the art. The other pieces of art are closer to the cabinet, so there's less space there that needs to be filled, so they've gone with shorter stacks of objects there. But they were smart to bring a little more height back to the grouping on the right end. Otherwise, you would have had this continuous downward slope of objects from left to right. And you want to avoid creating those long diagonal lines. You need to break them up by adding more height back in. So overall, I think this is just a great composition of pieces. A nice variety of shapes, sizes, colors, and styles. So here we have another example of some styling that I think is a little bit lacking. As I just mentioned, you want to avoid long diagonal lines, and they haven't. They have started with the tallest object on one end and gradually gotten shorter all the way to the other end. There's also too much empty space in between the groupings of objects. That candle on the right just feels like it's lost out there all by itself. So here I've added a table lamp, which helps add some height and more visual weight to the sideboard. The only other addition I made was to add a second candlestick. Tall, skinny candlesticks like this I find usually feel better in pairs, or a group of three can also be good if they come in various heights. But other than that, all I've done here is shuffle things around a bit. Having all three books in one pile feels more substantial and adds more height, which is useful given that the candle is shorter there than the candlestick was. That little candle feels much more anchored and grounded now, and the shell vase is substantial enough that it can sit on its own. So we now have a better balance of negative space and more variations in height than what we had before. And while I have been a little critical of the styling, I do also want to say I really love the piece of art that they have used here. I chose this dining room image because I thought this centerpiece was a great example of trying something different and not just relying on candlesticks and vases like we so often see for centerpieces. That sculptural piece, that reminds me a lot of an Alexander Calder sculpture. I think that's really cool. I really like the little piece of art too. I mean, it works well in a situation like this because the table's in the corner, so you don't have to worry about the back of the frame not being finished. But if that isn't the situation in your dining room, you could also use a photo cube or some sort of two-sided frame if you wanted to do this and have it visible from all sides. Next up, we have a very stylish bookcase, and this utilizes a lot of the tips that I've been talking about. You have some vertical books and some that are horizontal. There are layered pieces of art. There's a plant. There are items that feel unique and personal. And there's a collection of items with that stack of records. And it's all been pulled together in a way that feels varied but balanced. Here's another great example. Now, the bookcase itself is beautiful. That wood is rich and warm, and I like that they haven't done too much with the styling to compete with that. The use of contrasting materials, also really great. The brushed metal lamp, the polished metal picture frame, the marble lidded dish, and the plant to add some color. Very well done. And this I just wanted to show because I think it's great. If you are someone that has a lot of vases or sculptures or other decorative objects, but you don't necessarily have a lot of surfaces to display them on, you could do something like this and turn them into wall art by displaying them on little shelves. And a big grouping like this, I think, is really impactful and just looks super cool. All right, let's move on to talking about well-styled beds, and I happen to really like this one. I like the use of color. I think the mix of patterns is really interesting. Now, I know this is a bit eclectic. It's not necessarily going to appeal to everyone, but I think that this works because of the continuity of color. The blue of the accent pillows is also in the art, and the burgundy of the plaid fabrics is tied in with the nightstand. I believe that this is a ski chalet, which explains the Pray for Snow pillow, but as a Canadian who just survived another rather long winter, I do not share this sentiment. If you prefer a simpler, more subdued bed, I also think this is pretty cool. I love the pillows with contrasting piping and the subtle print of the gingham. Just the right amount of interest without being too much. And I really like the overall color scheme happening here. Here we have some kitchen open shelving. These are just a practical, functional way to use shelving. Everything is neat and tidy, but realistic. These all look like pieces you would actually use, not just stuff that's only there to look pretty. I am gonna guess that that blender is not being used a lot because having to bring that down from the top shelf all the time has gotta get really annoying. The finishing touches in this bathroom are great. The colors of the rug really help tie everything together. The seafoam hue of the shower curtain I love with the olive green of the tile. That's a color combination I'm really into. And it is not every bathroom that has a blue cowboy boot on the countertop, but it is unusual pieces like this that really give a space personality. All right, my friends, let's take a look at what I found on my local Facebook marketplace that I think could make some very cool styling pieces. Hopefully this will inspire you to keep pieces like this in mind for your own interior styling. I found this a while ago and I just thought this would be a really fun addition to a console table or a shelf, and I guess someone else agreed because it has now sold. A collection of vases like this is great because you just don't even really have to think about it. You just know that these three pieces are going to work really nicely together as a little grouping. Folding screens like this have so many great potential applications. You can use them as a room divider, to fill an empty corner, even tucked behind a piece of furniture. My mom used to have a Bodum set, so I feel especially nostalgic about these cups. I just think these could look really cute in a glass door kitchen cabinet. By the way, I should mention, I did not have to do any specific product searches to find any of this stuff. These things all just came up on my main feed. So this is why I suggest that you save anything that you like, even if you're not going to buy it. It's going to train the algorithm to know what it is that you like. This would add such a fun little pop of color to your kitchen. You could place it on an open shelf, or it could also just sit out on your cooktop. We have talked a bit about how wrought iron seems to be having a moment, especially little sculptural pieces like this. These would be great on a table or on a mantle. So I accidentally messaged the seller of this plant stand when I was meaning to hit save. It is just way too easy to hit the send button on the message. Please tell me I am not the only one who has done this. Anyway, it's very cute, but I am not in the market for a plant stand right now. Remember a couple videos ago when I mentioned squiggle lamps? I see squiggle lamps, these wavy lamps, quite often. I think they're great. I cannot believe someone is selling this for $5. But even if you splurge on a new lampshade, that's still gonna be a ridiculously cheap floor lamp. We talked in the last video about placing ottomans under a console table, and I think in the right setting, these would be really fun. Itala is a line that has so many beautifully designed pieces. Definitely a brand to watch out for. As I mentioned earlier, I like a set of 3 candle holders in varying heights. These would work so well in a variety of homes that could use a little touch of vintage. Now, these might seem like maybe kind of an unusual choice, but hear me out. Pedestals are really smart additions to a space. You can use them in so many different ways. You could have a table lamp on this, a vase, a sculpture, or you could use it as a plant stand. And you know that I am an advocate for bringing weird and quirky things into your space, and such a classical element like this in a modern home creates a visual tension that I think could be really cool. This has such a fun postmodern vibe to it that I really enjoy. I like the shape, I like the colors, the stripes. I think this could be a great addition to a neutral little breakfast nook that really needs a bold pop of color. When we talk about layering art on a nightstand or in a bookcase, this is absolutely the kind of charming little piece you want to look for. Again, charming, unique, a bit quirky. This would be great in a home that could use a little touch of whimsy. Absolutely the kind of decorative bowl you could use in a kitchen or on a coffee table or even for keys by the front door. Unique little dishes and bowls are always a great addition to your collection of styling pieces. Okay, now this one might require a bit of creative vision. It all looks like a lot when you see it together, but imagine these pieces broken up and used individually. I think these would be a perfect addition to a really quaint, charming little kitchen full of character. As I mentioned in the very first image that I shared in this video, little stools like this can be excellent styling pieces. And clearly, someone agrees with me because this sold very quickly, and for $45, I can understand why. All right, friends, I hope this video has been useful. I hope that I've been able to just sort of expand on what we covered in the first styling video, that things are now a little clearer, a little easier to understand, and that you're feeling inspired to go and tackle some interior styling projects in your own home. Thank you so much for being here. I hope we see you again at the next one, and bye for now.